Okay. All right, guys, things are getting serious. We are being hunted for the perfect day in EPCOT itinerary. Are you ready for that? While I'm with you, we're gonna be talking about the best strategy for doing everything in EPCOT. Grab your stuff. We have to go. We gotta go. Did you get your stuff? When it comes to going to Disney World, it can be super overwhelming, whether it's your first time, your 100th time, because things are always changing and you want to do everything. So today we're going to focus on that best strategy for doing everything in Disney's EPCOT. Now, before we get started, if you want to see my personal perfect day in EPCOT, just click on the link in our description and we'll get it sent straight to your email. It's all in writing. You don't even have to take notes. Forgive me if I'm keeping my head down. This is pretty sought after information and I'm trying to play it cool right now. But what we're going to talk about is pre-park opening right now. That's before the park even opens. If you want to do everything, you need to be on your A game, agents. And if you're not taking notes, you're making a mistake. Starting at midnight on the day of your trip, or at the very least before 7 a.m., you might need to consider purchasing Genie Plus. So Genie Plus is essentially Disney's like skip the line service, but you do have to pay for it. 3 tiers. First is free, it's suggestions. The second is the one we're talking about right now. It can range anywhere from $15 to $40 per person per day. It gets pretty pricey, but can be worth it if you really know how to work the system. And then the third is individual lightning lanes. In EPCOT, the individual lightning lane is Guardians, and it's an additional fee per person per day just to get on that one ride. So midnight or before 7, you've purchased Genie, okay? Then at 6:50, this is when I like to get on, I like to get ready, I like to be prepared. I'm on the My Disney Experience app, which you can download for free on the App Store, and I'm making sure that my entire party is connected and ready to go. So starting at 7 is when you're gonna grab your first lightning lane of the day if you're doing Genie Plus. And also EPCOT is going to be a little bit different because at 7 you're also going to be grabbing that virtual queue. We're going to talk lightning lanes first though. If you aren't sure what to grab, we typically recommend doing Remy's Ratatouille Adventure or Frozen Ever After for your first lightning lane of the day. Really just depends on which one is more important to you as a person and your group. Also at 7 a.m. is when the virtual queue is going to drop. Now you can buy that individual lightning lane that we discussed, but 9 times out of 10 we're going to recommend doing the virtual queue. The virtual queue also opens at 7, and if you know that you're going to do the virtual queue and an individual lightning lane, grab the virtual queue first. A pro tip from us is if you have 2 adults in your group with 2 different cell phones, you can do both things at the same time. That's going to be the ultimate way to do it, but if you only have 1 cell phone, no worries at all. Go for the virtual queue first because it will fill up by 7:01, and then go for your lightning lane. Let's talk about what happens when the park actually opens. Things are going to get pretty serious. Okay, let's be honest with ourselves. Park open can be a tough situation. This is where rope drop's gonna come into play. We're really maximizing and doing everything. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's ride. Let's talk about rope drop. Rope drop essentially is when you're going to go to the park a little bit early so that way you can get in line, so that way the lines won't be as long. And I know, I've had people say, so you're getting in lines to avoid lines. It does feel that way, but truthfully, it really helps throughout your day because you're gonna get into those biggest rides in Disney World very quickly, and you're not gonna have to waste a lot of your park time trying to wait in line while the park is actually open. So rope drop can actually last up to an hour, and this is like a really crucial time in Disney World if you're trying to do everything. Because rope drop is a more exciting and more extensive part of your morning, you're gonna need to stay on your toes. You're gonna need to stay flexible. So you're gonna wanna check those park times in the My Disney Experience app, because if you know, okay, I'm rope dropping Frozen, you got through the Frozen line fast, but your next goal is to go to Test Track, but Test Track's at an hour, and Remy's only at 30 minutes, go to Remy. You know, stay flexible, figure out what your priority list is, and make sure you're not wasting time when it's not needed. Now, my personal favorite thing to do after rope drop is over is pause for breakfast. I think if you're in Disney World and you're not eating all of the good Disney foods, you're missing out on doing a little bit of everything like we're talking about today. When it comes to breakfast in EPCOT actually does not have as many breakfast options as places like Magic Kingdom or even Animal Kingdom, but the ones they do have are so incredible. Now, if you're towards the front of the park, Sunshine Seasons has fun breakfast options. It's really quick, really easy, and actually pretty tasty. However, if you want a good breakfast, like a really good, like go out of your way for at breakfast, you're gonna need to head into France and check out Les AllEars. Les AllEars is the bakery and patisserie in the back. It's so amazing. I personally love the quiche Lorraine, but the pastries are so fresh, and you can get a massive baguette for like $1.25 with some jam. So lots of options. That's my personal favorite. Highly recommend. You also can grab some crepes in the back as well with mimosas if that's something you're interested in for EPCOT. Now, post-breakfast is going to be a great time to check out those shorter wait times. So things like Grand Fiesta Tour, Living with the Land, incredible rides, but typically don't have long wait times. This is also when you're going to be kind of coming up on that 2-hour mark to start worrying about that second lightning lane of the day. This is when your priority list is really going to come into play. If you know that you want a lightning lane for test track, go ahead and grab that second if you're able to. However, if you know that you want a lightning lane for Remy as well, but Remy is down to 6:50 p.m., grab Remy. Once those lightning lanes are gone for the day, they're pretty much gone for the day. And if you want to do that and you don't want to wait in line, definitely go for the lightning lane that is a little bit later in the day, because that means it's running out more quickly than the others. So shows in this park are a must-do, but they are significantly different than the other shows around Walt Disney World. Shows do not run all day, so if you worry about shows or you're interested in shows, definitely kind of start working them in earlier throughout the day. Epcot's live entertainment is, in my opinion, what I like to consider more of drive-by entertainment, okay? So it's not like Festival of the Lion King where you stand in a line and then you go and you sit and you enjoy the show, although that's great. Epcot's is more like you find it scattered throughout the World Showcase and World Celebration, and you can just walk up, watch the show, and if you don't want to stay for the whole thing, you can just kind of walk away. You're going to find shows like the Jammers, Mariachi Cobre, Voices of Liberty, some really fun and amazing things. Now, those three are staples in Epcot, but a lot of the live entertainment will also switch throughout the year based on whatever festival is going on. Now, these drive-by options are a lot of fun because they're casual, they make the park feel alive, and they're also not a huge commitment, and it's not something you have to go out of your way for or spend a lot of your park day on. But we've been singing our heart out, and I'm kind of getting hungry again. So let's talk about some lunch options. So lunch around Epcot is a little bit different than the other parks. Now, there's the same two options as the other parks. You can grab a table service option, or you can do a quick service. When it comes to table services, I absolutely love things like Le Cellier and Spice Road Table. Le Cellier is a little bit nicer. It's like more of a romantic kind of dinner setting, but still a really good option no matter what time you're eating it. And Spice Road Table, I think, is a great kind of last minute decision, but so wonderful. Now, Epcot does have quick service spots, of course, things like Yorkshire Fish Shop and Katsura Grill. Those are really tasty, they're great options. However, I think that the most unique thing you can do in Epcot is all of the festival booths. When it comes to eating in Epcot, a festival booth is just absolutely top tier, chef's kiss. Now, there's almost always a festival going on in Epcot. Not always, but almost. You're going to find different offerings throughout each and every one of them. Right now is the Flower and Garden Festival, which ends at the end of May right now, which I'm kind of sad about because that's pretty early. But if you want to see any festival coverage or any recommendations, we have full videos on every single festival up on the channel right now. And if you know that you're going to be here for a festival in the future, our coverage of the festival usually goes up within 2 to 3 days. So that way it's super fresh and you can see that current festival and our recommendations right then and there. Now, post-lunch is a little bit more simple here because this is when you're going to keep hunting for those wait times. So things like Soarin' might drop a little bit because kiddos are taking naps. So check those out, and you can also look for characters. Epcot has a lot of really fun and unique characters, especially princesses, scattered throughout the World Showcase, and this is going to be a great time to check them out. I also absolutely love to snack and drink during this time. You've gotten a lot of rides done throughout the morning, so this is just a great time to kind of stroll throughout the showcase and see everything that Epcot has to offer. Now, the evenings, this is when showtimes, for the most part, are going to start wrapping up and be over. You've also probably already made it on all the rides you care about because we just had the best perfect morning and afternoon, and you were so smart with your lightning lanes. Now, I think Epcot is a great spot to do dinner and a show. Epcot has a newer nighttime spectacular called Luminous: The Symphony of Us, and because I love it so much, I think this is a great time that you do a fireworks package in Epcot, which is something you can also do in Magic Kingdom. Essentially, this is when you purchase a very specific dining reservation for the time that the fireworks are going on, and they have special viewing areas. So a lot of times there's going to be options at Rose and Crown Dining, which is a lot of fun, and they have a great viewing area. But my personal favorite, we're going to throw it back to Spice Road Table. Spice Road Table has a really cool outdoor seating area as well as massive windows inside so that we can kind of see it. And I feel like really personal, strong feelings about the crispy cauliflower. Even if that's not your thing, if you're not into a sit-down dinner, still watch Luminous. It's so good and a perfect way to wrap up your Epcot day because it means you've done everything. So I hope you guys, what was the plot? What was my theme here? I don't even think I have one. So I hope that you guys made sure to take notes. You're agents at this point. You know exactly what you're doing. And that's the full secret to doing everything in Epcot. If you guys like this video, go ahead and like and subscribe. Now, if you want to see the full Magic Kingdom itinerary, it's up on the channel right now. But be safe on your way over there.